Sir! My banksters. Welcome to the bank. Come on, you come in. Come on, I'll let you in today. I'll let you in. Come on. You are here with the teller, rob the bank. Follow me as I follow money. Let's dive deep and get rich. Let's update our software so our hardware can run efficiently. We back with G again, man. Billionaire G. We back with Billionaire G, man. Watching this video, DJ Vlad, Grant Cardone, most people not being hustlers. They just want to pay the bills and die. Let's see what G talking about, man. Let's see what Billionaire G talking about, man.
Well, Nick Cannon, who's a regular guest on my show, and he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Bunch of successful projects, one after another. And we were kind of debating in our last interview about people hustling and so forth, and people being bosses and this, that. And he said, well, Vlad, you got to realize not everyone's a hustler. Some people just want to pay their bills and die. I believe in hustling. I believe, like, okay, look.
Facts, and everybody doesn't have that hustler spirit.
And, just because
some people are designed to be worker ants.
Right, you have
Everybody's
runs.
not a soldier.
I had a great run as a DJ. At one point I realized, hey, I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm not going to keep supporting myself by doing these club gigs and so forth. It's time for me to switch up and do something completely different.
Yeah.
And that's where the videos,
you cut
the
from
movies,
a different cloth. Like, everybody doesn't have that ingenuity.
I respect hustlers. I don't respect people.
But
who,
the majority of the world, that middle class that we were talking about, they're employees.
No offense, but if you still think stocks, real estate, or crypto are the best passive income investment,
Blue. Blue. First off, passive income is passively bullshit. You still gotta be active in the passive income. Look, man, once again, I could be wrong. I'm not sitting here saying, listen to me, I am the end all be all. I am the alpha omega. Listen to what I say. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just thinking you can only be focused. The man who chases two rabbits catches neither. A bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. Like, it's a bunch of these sayings. And all that means is to focus on one thing until you accomplish it. And even when you accomplish it, you can take it to another level. Once there's no, that's kind of the interesting part about business and art and music and all these different things. There are levels. You continue to rise in levels. And passive income is just for late people who want to pay bills and die. I think that if you can have passive income if you're working, because if you're working, you're not thinking as much as somebody who's operating a business or who's on 1099 or these different type of things. I don't think I could be wrong. I just personally don't think you are thinking as deeply about the business that you're in or increasing the skills that you're useful at. And, passive income is just a way to just park your money aside. Me personally, passive income was like, people was like, look, how can we steal money from people legally? That's how I look at it. Because, who's really making money off of it? It's the stockbrokers, it's the realtors, the banks making money from all this. So I think, me personally, I'm just saying me personally. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Everybody's not a entrepreneur. Everybody does not have a high tolerance for risk. Everybody not built for everything. Built for certain things. It's just some things it's not built for. Some people not built for marriage. Some people built for marriage. Some people, it's things that people built for. it just depends on what you built for. So some people, that's what they don't want to be hustlers. They just want to have, cake and ice cream and shit. I don't know. But, everybody doesn't fit into everything. I'm not going to judge somebody based off that. But I'm also not going to take BS from somebody who is telling me things that I should do when we're not even in the same, under the same umbrella. Like, come on now, don't tell me what to do. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. We're not even in the same ball game, so. But I'll listen. See, me, I think being in sales gave me a good ear because now I listen to people. My thing is I want to hear what you have to say. So if somebody's better than me in a certain realm, I want to listen. Tell me. I want to be your friend. How can I help you? Because I want to know what you know. I want what you have, and I think that's a healthy way to look at things. I don't think that's a negative way to look at things. So.
I would say that's the majority of the world. Wouldn't you say?
I was having this conversation today. I ask myself this all the time. I think most people have given up on the game.
What do you mean?
Well, I think most people. I think a lot of people that hate on the game right now have given up on it. That's why they hate on it. I don't want to play anymore. It's like the child that throws down the checkerboard. I'm getting beat so bad I can't play, so I throw the game away. And I think people are doing that with money now. I mean, look at the stat that you gave earlier about 1% of the people literally owning more than the entire middle class combined. When you're doing all the right things, and I can relate to this because I watched my mom do all the right things. Saved the money, paid for the house, paid the house off, paid the cars off, never stole from anybody, planned for retirement. She was still terrified every month. Are they going to stop my Medicare? Are they going to stop the Social Security? Is the health care plan going to change? Is my cash being invested right? Like, she was terrified. So at some point you're like, I give up. Or we try to vote. We try to vote for the right president to somehow solve our problems. And this isn't an American issue, but this happens. We're in Brazil. Same thing goes on there. I go to Dubai. They're worried about the same things in Dubai. So I think a lot of people have given up on the idea they can change their condition in life. And therefore they end up doing too little or just enough to keep a job and to be used by the system.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at these historical low unemployment rates, what I honestly feel is just skewing these numbers a lot is the whole gig culture of like Uber, Lyft, Postmates, whatever else. You have all these people that are technically employed. And I remember, a comedian named TK Kirkland, he's a regular on my show. We had a debate about Uber, and he said he claims that he knows guys that are making $2,000 a week driving for Uber.
If you do an Uber Eats and Uber driving and you're making $2,000 a week because you're putting in the hours, $2,000.
I don't know anyone who makes $2,000.
Oh, I know a couple people make about $2,000 a week, sir.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
I have. How many hours a day do they work?
They have to work a lot.
7 days a week.
7 days a week, but they coming home with $2,000 a week.
Okay, I got it.
So that's $8,000. So my point is, it's a lot of work, but me and you understand what I'm about to say. What's your plan?
If you really want to be a CEO, want to be an entrepreneur, you should take the first step. Create the LLC. It doesn't.
I want to see what he about to say, but what's your plan? You working? I want to write that down. What's your plan? Ain't nothing wrong with working hard, but what's after that? Because I'll tell you, everybody has a shelf life. Everybody has a allotted amount of energy. Nobody has unlimited amount of energy. Nobody. And with that energy, there's a law called the conservation of energy. Hold on, matter of fact, because y'all probably think I be bullshitting when I be talking. You know what I'm saying? law of conservation of energy. The law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, although it may be transformed from one form to another. If you take all forms of energy into account, the total energy of an isolated system always remains constant. All the forms of energy follow the law of conservation. Okay. And then we go here. So you got energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another till it exists. But then you have total energy, potential energy, and kinetic energy. Total energy, potential energy, kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is already something that's moving. Potential energy is what it could, the potential of energy that you have, and then you got the actual energy. My point of what I'm saying is this. Nobody has an unlimited amount of energy. Nobody. Everybody gets gas. At some point, you're going to get gas, you're going to burn out, you're going to be tired. You're working 7 days a week for a year. That means you're working 365 days a year. Now, let's say you can actually do that. If you follow trading or anything in life, the more things spike up, it's going to crash. The more you can stay constant is the actual thing you want to do. You want to stay constant. You don't want to, because you spike, I'm telling you, your energy is you're going to crash. You're going to crash hard. After that year, or maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years, you're going to crash. Like you're going to be somebody who's crashed. Now, maybe you are unlike any of us and you don't. Cool. But my point is, nobody can sustain that. Working for 7 years. Working 7 days a week, working 7 days a week for 52 weeks. No one can sustain that. No one. So from that, if we know ourselves, we know we can't sustain that, then we have to have a plan. What's after this? What's something that physical, like non-physical, that we can separate our money into? So you doing this just to buy, most people, I don't know. I'm not even going to even touch on that. Are you using this money just to pay for your lifestyle, or are you using this money to invest into your lifestyle or to invest into your life? It's a whole different thing. So you must have a plan. You have to have some type of plan behind whatever it is you're doing, because you working that hard is not sustainable.
And I'm like, okay, you got to be literally working 12-hour days, 7 days a week to be making $2,000 a week.
Yeah.
Driving Uber. And, don't even count the wear and tear on your car and the gas and everything else like that. It's not really $2,000 a week. But you have all these people that have these jobs and they're scraping by. They feel like they're bosses because they don't have to punch in, but they have a job that has no trajectory at all. If you work at Uber for 2 years, you will not be made a manager.
Dude, Uber's spending $1 billion, losing $1 billion a year, trying to figure out how to get rid of the drivers.
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm totally with you on this. First of all, 3.5% can't get much lower. Number two, wages haven't changed in America. They have not changed. Like literally, if you look at a graph on wages, they're almost flat. Little blip lately, but still not enough to think that gravity's not going to pull that number down again. You got the farm payrolls are getting hammered because of wages. The dairy business is off because people aren't drinking. They're lactose intolerant now, so the farmers are going out of business over there. Those are real jobs. If Uber gets rid of drivers,
wait. Who is this? The World Economic Forum.org. Okay, so this is a pretty reliable source. We're just going to reject. In 1973, real hourly earnings for production and non-supervisory employees in the U.S. $23 an hour. March 2019, it's $23 an hour. That's crazy. Let's see. Let's see if we Statista. Let's see what everybody else. Okay, accept all. Only necessary. So let's see. Wages, inflation. So as you can see, just by Statista. So Statista, this black line right here is the inflation. That's inflation, and then the wages. So the wages. Let me see. So what does these numbers mean? I don't know what these numbers mean. How do we find out what these numbers mean? Because I want numbers. I want to know, like, how much. Okay. They're not showing us, but long story short, what I'm taking from this is look at the inflation. Inflation has been higher. It's spiked recently. This is like 2020. But inflation spiking probably because of quantitative easing. That's why it has dropped like this. But it's already back on the uptrend, and this is kind of on the downtrend. The wages are back on the downtrend. So not even caring about the numbers and all this other stuff. Oh, okay, so this is a percentage of change. So percentage of change is okay. So percentage of change from what? Okay, so I guess that's baseline. Baseline is right here. And then 8% compared to the 6%. So so let's just say this, even though wages did rise a little bit, the wages rose, but inflation was even higher. So that it's not comparable. So this is what we should be striving for, something like this, inflation and wages like this. Because now at least, if we think of ourselves as a company, that's how I'm looking at individuals. Look at yourself, look at your family as a company. The main goal of any company is to keep expenses low or to keep profits or revenue high and to exceed your expenses. Long story short, make your revenue exceed expenses. That's called profit. So this is where you strive to be. But even if we look, as inflation, as the wages slightly increased, the inflation spiked. And even though they both dropped and intersect, the wages still are going down. And this is 2020 to 2024, I'm guessing current. So now, even still, your wage is what? 1.2, your wage is beating the inflation by 1.2%. That's not great. And I want to see wages and salaries. Let's see if they got another one. 2022. Wow. Average salary, and this is from 2000 to 2022. From 61,000 to the high ever being 78. $17,000 difference. But if we go back and we pay attention, inflation is rising too. So what Grant is saying is not wrong.
Like Uber got rid of taxi cabs and their drivers. At least in every other city but New York. If the unemployment goes to 5% from the 3.5%, that's a 30% increase. There's going to be a lot of people hurting in America.
Well, I don't think it's if Uber gets rid of drivers, it's when Uber
That's right.
gets rid of drivers.
Yeah.
I own a Tesla and I use auto drive every day. Now that's not fully autonomous, but it's really just one step away.
Yeah,
it's already being done and I use it every day.
Yeah, and people are in denial about this, Vlad. You know that.
Yeah.
Like, they're
And I want to also point this out too, is now with the increase in technology, cryptocurrencies, internet, the competition level is rising. That is not beneficial for, like we were just talking about. My grandfather or my great-grandfather did not have the same problems that they had to worry about as we do now. Because now, and I have nothing against Mexicans or South Americans, nothing. But the increase of people, even if they raise the wages, some people at the bottom, people at the extreme bottom or in these middle classes are going to get destroyed because people are being let into the country and they're just business. You want to get cheaper work at the same rate. I mean, you get the same work for a cheaper rate. So with that, it creates competition. Then you get to push out other people. It's going to be extremely scary. I mean, now it's an international competition, and more competition is being flooded into America. Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s, it was just it wasn't as many races in America. Now, with the influx of so many races, the competition level is dramatically increasing.
There's going to be tremendous automation in the next years to come that's going to replace jobs.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Now, you talked about in the book, you said you have to be obsessed. Nobody has ever accomplished something incredible without obsession. And you said the ability to be obsessed is not a disease, it is a gift.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I took a vacation with my family. It was like my first vacation in like 3 years. And even though I was supposed to be on vacation, every morning I would log in, and the internet was bad where I was, but it didn't matter. I logged in and I worked every morning and slipped in some work throughout the day because I'm completely obsessive about my business.
Yeah.
It's not that I have to do it, it's that I want to do it.
Yeah.
And this is what you're talking about, I assume.
Yeah. And you can't name a person that you and I both can share their names. Nick Cannon, I know Nick. I mean, I don't know Nick, but I know of Nick because Nick must be obsessed.
Yeah.
And like all the greats, just go back all the way through time. These people become obsessed with their mission. And this is what's missing from the quitters. The people that you talked about earlier, they checked out on the game. They threw the checkerboard down. They're like, I quit, man. I can't win the money game. So I'm not going to be obsessed with it. The wealthy are obsessed with their wealth. Not for the money, man. Not for the money, but for the game. And people that want success. Elon Musk is obsessed with this electric thing. He doesn't care if it makes money. He doesn't even care if he's in the car business 20 years from now. He wants to change the game.
Yeah, and the SpaceX thing. Let's not forget that.
Yeah. Whatever he's doing, he wants to change the game. Everyone has that Musk in them, by the way. Like everybody has the genius in them. Everybody has a Steve Jobs. Everybody's got an Oprah. Everybody's got a Mother Teresa in them. And the more I can be obsessed with whatever my little gift is.
So, and I want to touch on this. Obsession is nothing different than extreme focus. And that's go back to what we said at the beginning. Chase two rabbits, you catch neither. Bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. It's about how focused you can be. You need to be more focused on whatever it is your path is. Once you find out whatever your gift is, all that type of stuff. So I agree with what Grant is saying. I think this is probably like a really good one. I don't really have much to say. I think I said everything. Passive income is BS. You gotta be obsessed with your mission and what is your plan? What is your plan? You gotta have a plan. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know, why you're doing what you're doing. So the conservation of energy, or knowing that you don't have a large amount of energy. I mean, you gotta have some type of plan. You gotta know what comes after this. That's all I'm saying. So let's dive even deeper. Let's get even richer. Let's update our software so our hardware can run efficiently. I am working on an email list or a text number so we can be more interactive. That will be coming soon, so y'all can make sure y'all get these notes and different stuff like that. I just made another video about this book and creating like a book club to do it. So catch me on the next one.